Right.
But, all right. Are you ready for this? Because we're about to eat a whole dozen donuts.
I don't see it.
Bastard and ketchup.
We have to care about the agents.
Screaming at a drag show, so.
And put it right on the side.
Right, I'm like, okay.
The pizza boxes.
Right.
So we
Okay.
Okay.
I am here with my beloved guest, Megan DeVust. Hi. Thank you for coming.
Hi, I'm here.
Yes, you made it.
This is so exciting.
So on this beautiful Thursday morning, I decided that since we're both with child, I would bring us a dozen donuts to enjoy.
Are you having a boy or a girl?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
Perfect.
so Megan is our top growth advisor here, the OG growth advisor from when you were HR, also potentially the internet person, maybe a front desk person, all these things.
Onboarding. Interviewing.
I forgot that one of the projects I did when we had Ashley was film you onboarding somebody so that she could see what it looked like. Mm-hmm. And then, I forgot that you onboarded them.
And it was so OG that it was just paper checklists. So we did everything by paper.
Okay, so yes, I heard Lindsay talking about this on the Tom Ferry podcast. Mm-hmm. She was talking about how she would literally like section things off and like hand cut everything to make sure and then like check them off as they went through the onboarding process.
And then I would hand her what I did so that she could finish her side.
Yeah.
Via paper.
We've come a little bit.
You know, welcome to 2022. We love technology now.
Yeah, that was 2019. So It's so weird. So I just saw a meme that we're just immediately jumping into this weird topic. I just saw a meme that was like, it was overheard in New York. And it was like, how old are you? It's like 25. But if you subtract the COVID years, I'm actually only 22.
Right.
And it's just crazy that our growth has been through the COVID years where it feels like just a straight blur.
Straight blur. I mean, I went from starting out, I remember DJ&Lindsey would just hand me people's names and like pictures of their Facebook profiles.
Right.
And I would friend them and minorly stalk them.
Right.
In a friendly, kind way. To now we have a massive team. We have inside sales agents that are helping us. It's crazy, but it was like COVID years. I mean, starting in June of 2019 to, getting married, jumping right back into it. There was like kind of a tropical depression.
Right.
Hurricanes.
Dorian, like, sort of was here, but wasn't. But
wasn't
like,
here. We were
said
like,
hey, but was like not staying for a while.
I think we were playing like cornhole, but like everyone was like not going to work. So it was just spring break.
Beautifully sunny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I fled to Orlando, which just turned out to be just a vacation in the middle of the week.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So. To 2020 hit, and we've had a lot of changes.
Crazy.
And it's insane.
Right.
Like, I mean, you started.
I started
right
January.
After I did.
Yeah, and I started. So you probably had a 6 or so month leg on me, where I started at the end of January, and then literally COVID hit, and DJ and I have a conversation. He's like, dude, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't want you to go anywhere. Yep. So he's like, let's just figure out like what you can do. Obviously we still have to try and shoot homes because people want them listed. Like we just have no clue what's happening. So it was super weird. I was walking into people's homes. Like I was going into, what's that? The Hunt for Red October, where they're like in the nuclear suburb. I'm looking into these people's houses and like PPE equipment. I'm like,
yep.
I'm here to shoot your home. Like, okay.
Because we had to go with masks, gloves, booties,
everything. Yeah, I was literally like, why am I even here at this point? Like, is anybody gonna buy it?
Right.
But it was the start of the boom, so we could see just the absolute mayhem that people thought the world was burning, but then like.
Not in Florida.
It never hit the pandemic because first it was like warm weather and this and that whatever, but we never. It just kind of Florida was just like figure it out as we go, which is crazy that we took that same stance because we just tried to do the best we could with what we had, but like it was just a matter of like the company still has to move forward. Like their passion is providing for these people. So DJ wasn't going to drop out on them. So he didn't want, he was like, dude, I'm not going to stop for you guys, so we just got to figure out how we can make this work for everybody.
Well, and I loved their mindset and their relentlessness because, at the beginning, no one really knew what was going on, right? And everyone wants to talk about it, but no one really knew what was going on. And then we all got sent home to be safe, and we were all on Zoom. And I mean, our agents they thoroughly stepped up.
Yeah.
We were all on Zoom making 200 phone calls a day.
Right.
And, just still trying to see, no one knew what was happening, right?
Right.
So to see where the agents said, okay, yeah, we're here, we're on this path, we're going to do this. And DJ and Lindsey, gosh, they just funneled more leads into the system. They just kept, putting fuel on the fire,
Right.
and look what it did for us. I mean, I think we ended the year 2020, which was, first year calendar year for me, with, gosh, what was it, like 886 homes?
Something like that, yeah.
And it was incredible.
Nobody thought that was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was going to be an impending doom, crash, the whole 9 yards.
But the growth too for me, which was exciting, when we had our leadership meeting, October of 2020. I don't think I'll ever forget. It was when we, brought on Kelsey and, Reagan was here for social media, and all these incredible people that had been laid off from their previous jobs
because of COVID.
Were here. And I remember them all. We all had, our OKRs for the following year, and it was, everyone thanked them. And you just realized how impactful this team was growing in a quick manner of we're not just, working to save agents' careers and lives, but also these incredible individuals that have now grown our team to where it is today.
Right. Yeah, it's funny you say that. But before we progress, I want to get into this because
What is this?
here's the issue is we're going to finish this before the podcast is over. And so I'm going to dive right in.
Okay. Which one are you going for?
Yes.
So wait, can we just, for anyone who can't see, yes, I am, with child.
Megan actually is pregnant.
Yes.
So
Todd
Todd
is just having pregnancy.
Yeah. Pregnancy appetite
with me.
Pregnancy hormones, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But while you tell everybody, let's update everyone on your pregnancy. I'm going to start.
Okay.
You kind of give us where you're at in your terms, et cetera. So go ahead.
So, I've never I've liked sweets, but I've never been a sweets person. I never had cravings.
Yeah, same.
And with this one, I'm expecting a boy. All I want are donuts. I started, speaking of how far we've come, I am 7 months pregnant, and I remember the first trimester, DJ and Lindsey were so good to me because it was very rough. I think it was saltines and watermelon.
Yeah,
but I wasn't telling anybody, so it was very weird.
Yeah, because I remember when I found out, which was hysterically haphazard.
I don't know if anyone wants to hear that story, but I think it's great. So can I dive in too, since you're eating? Because I feel like you're alone.
Rip it. No,
Okay.
go ahead and rip. Yeah, move this thing around.
I'm
rip.
going strawberry.
Yeah. Stu. We're standing at.
Stu's my husband.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Correct. Stu is our husband.
Ours.
Yes. Collectively. But we were at Sunsets. That's right. We're at Sunsets, and Stu and I are standing off because we were waiting for a table. So we got separated from you, DJ and Lindsey, and Stu just yeah, no, nobody's told you Meg's pregnant. And they're just you're standing there, I'm drinking a margarita. I'm what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, what? He's oh yeah, no, she's pregnant or whatever. I'm dope. Yeah, just kind of dropped in, and then when you guys were explaining to me at dinner how hard it had been, I was oh my, so I'm that makes a ton of sense. Where all of a sudden it's where's Megan? She's missing because you're just whatever you had thought you wanted to eat at that time.
Or smelled, it was not working out very well. Yeah, it's funny. I joked when I told DJ and Lindsey, I said, well, if you can't recruit them, make them.
Make them. So we're just making agents.
We're just making agents at this point.
Right. So I'm going to go number 2 right off the rip.
I love this.
I think that's pretty important to note. But it's funny that you say that because what I want to get back into is what we were talking about where we have Kelsey, we have Reagan, we have people who had lost their jobs to COVID, whether it was furloughed or whatever the opportunity was. And here DJ and Lindsey were well, let's give them an opportunity and see what they can make out of it, right? So obviously the listing department then exploded. Reagan's email campaigns exploded. Like, they've just done so well, and now we use them in so many different facets. But it's because these people had passion. They had, which DJ and I shot a video this morning about passion. But they had passion in what they were doing. They just needed the opportunity. And now that they're given this opportunity, it's crazy. So now here you are, and your team is tasked to go out and find these people who have passion and have either been kind of, I don't know what you kind of call it, burned.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy industry. My background is hospitality. You know, my background is restaurant management. And when I'll never forget, what I was wearing, because I'm very detail oriented, but what I was wearing when I met with DJ&Lindsey, and they just said, you know, what do you think? And I'm like, I think I love this. I don't know. And I said, do we need to do a second interview? Because I was very corporate trained, right? So I'm thinking, you know, what's the next step, all this. And they said, no, do you want the job?
Do you want to work here or not?
And I was like, yeah, I want the job. So, you know, kind of diving in from never recruiting before to, you know, now saying, oh my gosh, this is what I've been doing for 3 years has been crazy. And I think I just took a much different approach. I didn't know what recruiting really meant. I didn't really know what agents really needed. But as time grew, you realize that, you know, our motto is be kind. I've seen DJ&Lindsey on so many levels in their kindness of friendship-wise to business-wise to just their relentlessness, right?
Right.
But, you know, being able to say, wait, if you can put in the hard work, we'll promise that we can give you all these things.
Absolutely.
And I always say there's 2 F's I never mess with. It's family and finances.
Sure.
And I've loved being able to stand by that with every agent because, you know, I can't promise them that they're going to be successful, right? Only they can come here and do the work and follow the structure. And you know, that's what it is. It is what it is. But what I can promise them is that I do see these incredible agents that are coming here, putting vision boards together and knocking those things off the list, right? And putting more things on the vision board and knocking those off the list. And I cry sometimes because I get so excited and passionate about the fact that these people's lives are actually changing here. And the power that this has on people and where it takes them, you know, and where they came from to where they are today. It's just, I'm always mind blown.
Yeah,
you know?
I think the craziest, and it's funny because this team that you didn't bring them on, but you brought one of the members on, just purchased another income property. This is someone who was a career server, who was, again, just like someone you worked with. Hey, I have this opportunity.
Brought him on. Are we talking about Scott?
Yeah, I'm saying you didn't bring Lauren on, did you?
Yes.
Oh, she was scholarship.
Lauren Rob.
I keep forgetting that she was scholarship because she's from here, and then I mix her in San Francisco, and
because she was living in California.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a wash that I forget. Right. Okay.
Lauren sent in a video for scholarship, and I saw this video, and it just made my heart happy, and I'm just so excited of their transformation.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not speaking to the mic.
That's right.
I just got the cue.
So, sometimes the donuts get in the way of the microphone. Not the microphone is in the way of the donut.
So Lauren Robshot, she did this incredible scholarship video, and this was actually going back to the COVID years. Sure. Kind of like the Wonder Years, but worse. We were scholarshiping agents, and we were having them submit videos to, hey, why do you want to be an agent? What about this team? Things like that. So I was getting all these videos, and Lauren was in a pool, and she did a take on
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde. Crushed it. I literally ran to Lindsay, and I was like, oh my gosh, we need this girl.
Well, and to start, the video was more like, we demand so much from the agents with video, with the things we ask of them, that the scholarship video was like, if you couldn't make just like, it was like, I don't know, 7 questions. Like,
no, it was like 4. 3 or.
But it was like, tell us about yourself, where you came from. Like, just it wasn't just like a test. It was just like, we want to get to know you, see your face, etc.
Right.
So people, great videos. Josh Kassoon had an excellent one. He was like, it was like a 6-second clip every single one. He was just like, it was super clever too.
Yep.
But again, his own take. And she just was like,
out there. You
Yeah.
saw her personality. And so, you know, to bring it full circle, you know, Tom Ferry, you know, he says the only bad video is one that's not done. And so that's where we use this platform to say, hey, we are video content based. Our agents are sending videos to their buyers. So let's go ahead and have our agents showcase this. And so to see, you know, Scott get his license, come on and crush it, to see Lauren come from being restaurant industry to here, and then, you know, be able to, you know, now they're partnered up. Now they're selling together. Gosh, what was it? I don't even know what they sold last year because I just, you know, they're amazing. But
right.
it's just, you know, to see where these agents start and where they take it, right?
Here's what's crazy. I started, and we were just talking about this, 2022.
Yep.
We were talking about 2020 is when I started.
Yeah.
Scott, being a career server, joining the team after I started, has now gone on to obviously make an income that's insane, but also move on to purchasing his second rental or income property inside of 2 years.
Inside of 2 years.
What you're essentially selling to people or just relaying to people, it's not a pipe dream. It's just a matter of how hard you work. That dude and Lauren, but that dude works his tail off.
Right. Right.
They work their absolute tail off because whatever his goal is, I had them both on the podcast. It was super early on, trying to figure it out. I was sitting on like a blow up chair. It was like it was mayhem.
Toddcast 1.0.
Literally, it was absolute mayhem. But I didn't even think we dug that deep into like some of their goals and them being who they are. I mean, they're both so humble. Like they're just like, oh yeah, whatever. Like one of them was rolling out to go get coffee, and
I'll just go with, since you had strawberry, is this vanilla? By the
that
way?
is vanilla. Yeah.
We're crushing some donuts.
Oh yeah, this is easy.
The baby's
Cake.
so excited for
Oh
sugar.
yeah, this is cake. Yeah, I definitely eat more than you. My baby is crazy, but like something as crazy as like she knows that I drink like an Americano. Just like went and got it, just like dropped it off. Like I wasn't even expecting it. I didn't ask for it, and then of course like I don't need this, but like let me Venmo you. Like oh my gosh, don't do that. Like they're just the sweetest, humblest people. Scott invited me to a UFC fight happening in April. He's like, yeah, I just like bought these tickets because I was like, I'm like, that's my girlfriend's birthday weekend. Probably not gonna go to.
Can she like come?
Yeah, not gonna go to a UFC fight. And then I asked her, and she's like, yeah, I probably would have gone. I'm like, we could have. I'm like, sick,
Damn.
but
Am I allowed
whatever.
to say
It's
that?
neither here nor there. But that's just the type of people that do so well here because the opportunity is so. I don't know. It's unlike any other, and the people come in here, they think they know what they're talking about, and then immediately they're like, oh wow, this is nothing like what I thought it was going to be. The culture here, the camaraderie. I mean, let's talk about Tuesday night, Toe Bean Tuesday.
I know.
That was wild. So we use Facebook Workplace as our means of communication. Some companies use Slack, Monday.com, whatever you want to call it. And somebody drops in, hey, it's Toe because it was 22222.
We have to give a shout out to Adam.
Shout out to Adam. Adam Fuller drops in. It's also it's Tuesday 22222, but let's also get some Toe Bean Tuesday, and everybody started pumping in photos of their animals' toes and just their animals' faces, whatever. And like that's the type of atmosphere and culture that's here. That somebody from the STA office drops in there, and Palm Beach, Jacksonville, everybody started showing out just because that's what it is. I mean, it's just like it's a big family to where, yes, everyone's in competition because everyone is their own boss essentially.
They're selling,
But at the same time, it's not a competition to where you hope somebody else does worse than you.
Right.
It's almost like you hope they do better, but it's a driving force to make you do better.
And it's so crazy, interviewing and hiring all these incredible people. I mean, I could literally name all of them. I wish I could give them all shout outs because I have a story for everyone. I remember what they wore when we met. I remember the location. But to not even have that as a part of our interview, right? Like, to not even say, well, you have to be this way, or we're looking for this, right? But rather, they just come in and they adapt to it. So, I mean, I say my background is hospitality. You know, I started my career at 19 with the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, everyone uses the Ritz-Carlton platform, the Credo card, right? How to work together. You know, massive companies use that. Here, we don't even have to talk about it.
Right.
And so for us, it's about like to be able to walk these halls and people just high-fiving each other when they started 2 weeks ago, for people supporting, you know, new agents that are struggling and maybe just lost 3 deals in one day.
Right.
Once again, I could cry. I promise it's not the sugar, the pregnancy, because I've, you know, done it on camera a couple years ago when you guys did a thank you video.
Yeah,
but
that was classic.
Oof, I know that day, you guys. But it's just the power of it. People just automatically come in and just are these wonderful people to each other.
Yeah.
Knowing that they're competition, knowing that they're here to grind.
Yeah.
And
but it's not a fight against each other. It's a fight with each other.
Correct.
For whatever, you know, for the
Yeah.
greater good. And that's what DJ says. It's an overall war, but it's who you want to go to battle with. And that's, I mean, that's what you guys are tasked, basically like finding these soldiers and other support, because we have such a tight support group.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about in a few weeks going down to South Florida.
Yes.
We're going to do a nice recruiting event down there. Because I mean, the South Florida opportunities are wild. I see them coming. Yeah, it's
insane.
It's crazy. The opportunities we
insane.
have in South Florida and the amount of people we have in South Florida to handle them. Like who was it? It was one of the, how many Zachs? We have 2 Zachs. Me Camp.
Yep.
Picked up the phone. It was like 4 million, 2 million. What was it?
Yeah.
It was just like,
I don't even know. But like, even, you know,
I asked DJ if I could start going down there to do headshots, but it's really to just sell property.
Right.
Yeah, we'll go do headshots,
But just the reality that it's, you know, kind of going to this opportunity, right? Going to what does this look like? Everyone thinks this place is too good to be true. Everyone's like, okay, well, when's the shoe going to drop, right? What's happening here? And for me, it's so hard to relay that this is just who we are. This is just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We demand a lot. I know people that watch this, you know, we do demand a lot, but
that's why it works.
Demand a lot because we want you to have a lot. It's a partnership, right? And so to see just these appointments throwing through the chat where people are just picking them up and going, people are like, no, that's not real. And I'm like, no, it's so real. It's unbelievable.
Real.
Like,
this just happened.
Right.
I'm just showing you this.
Right.
This isn't like I made it.
I literally just sent a screenshot to you. Like, I didn't have my marketing team do this.
Yeah, this is just happening.
You know, but that goes back to where we started to where we're going to continuously go. And I always say, you know, this is an ours and we mentality, not a me and mine.
Yeah.
Because all of our agents know we are all in this together.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting. You know, it's
right.
Brittany's a broker now, and
I
her
know,
name is on the board.
We just added her to the glass on the door. Yeah, we just did all new vinyl on all of our offices. So Brittany is now officially the broker of the DJ&Lindsey team.
Shout out to Brittany. You know, but like where we started in our Jack's Beach office, right?
Yeah, right.
Brittany was still in production, running around and trying to help agents.
Which looks like a postage stamp compared to the Jack's office now.
I know. We went from what was it, 2,200 square feet?
I was like, it was just over 2,000 square feet. Now it's like 8,600 square feet. I don't know.
With need to continue to grow.
Yeah, which we're already need other space, which is bananas. But it goes back to where we started, where we're going.
Yeah.
When we started, and again, it's looking to hire to fit the team, making sure that these people are going to be successful here was tough because we demanded so much. But now we have this new platform to now and it just goes back to who you are, who DJ&Lindsey are, who this company is that we repetitively saw a need to be able to help these people. They couldn't give us what we demanded to ensure that what we were giving them. Right. Okay, how can we help these people? They still need these services, but they won't be able to keep the restaurant on, 5-6 days a week. They can't, right? So how can we also help them provide our services? So now we have the power of the brokerage across the board.
Yes.
From anywhere.
So it's really fun for me so when we started, everyone, likes to say, well, you guys were just a 50-50 and that was it. And I always say, yeah, but because DJ and Lindsey were business minded, they weren't just going to crash and burn, right?
Yeah, they weren't just going to give it away and be like, okay, well, this is the top threshold, right?
Everything is strategic, everything is planned, and I think when I started, we were at like 22 agents, and we're now over 100. We're wild. We're we are doubling almost. I think we doubled numbers in just a month and a half on brokerage side and on, not doubled on team size, but
It's
gosh,
still we
it's
had
a ton, but
on Monday there was like 10 people started here.
But what's incredible about the brokerage side, and I give this shout out to DJ, Lindsey, Brittany, Brett, all of the TCs,
Todd.
everyone. Todd too for the donuts. Todd for marketing is
No worries.
Matt for helping Todd.
Matt for helping Todd, right, for mostly. Right.
Is it took a while to get us here, but now we're here, right?
Yeah.
And now we're able to offer the 80-20, the 90-10.
Yeah.
I'll give a shout out to Coral. Coral, I worked on Coral. She was a tough one.
Shoot.
Couple years. I worked with Coral, just loving on her, nurturing her. And I'll never forget, I was standing in the St. Augustine office, and I get a text message from her. She's like, all right, Megan, I saw it. And I kind of knew what she was talking about, but I kind of was like, wait, I'm just going to let her tell me. And she saw the
new
80,
splits.
80 and 90%. And it was just like, yes, we are evolving. We are going to give our people what they want. We hear you. It's just, DJ Lindsey, how do we get you there
Right.
with the processes and the steps to get you there to succeed fully,
Correct.
not crash and burn.
Right.
And so now with this incredible brokerage side of virtual, of remote, of saying, hey, I just worked with this gentleman today who's going to be on our brokerage side, and he needs to keep his job, right? He needs to be able to work. He said, I can't do this until I sell 1 or 2 homes, but once I do, I'm all in.
Right.
I just can't wait to be here, but I just can't sacrifice, and goes back to my 2 F's, right? Family
Right.
and finances.
Right.
And so now we have this incredible opportunity for us to train him, grow him. He has Tom Ferry ecosystem. He has Brittany and Brett, giving him the trainings and the coaching. And he's not even full-time yet. He still can learn all the things to be an incredible agent.
Right.
So that when he is here, it's going to be a walk in the park for him.
Yeah.
He's just going to have leads. And so for this new opportunity for us, it is massive expansion, massive growth for us to say, hey, you guys don't have to struggle. You can have a whole TC team that's
Right.
helping you, because if you are at work, are you really going to run out every 10 minutes? Your buyer
Right.
is thinking a fire's going on and,
Right.
and all that.
But not only that, if you're getting into real estate and someone who has a full-time job, who doesn't have, whether it's time, the finances to devote immediately to this, could you imagine having all the resources that we provide?
No.
Right?
I can, but
But it's just crazy to think that if you joined like a different brokerage and you were just like, I don't know what to do here, and tried to pick up and call a broker or whatever it was,
right.
the person was like, you've sold what, 1-2 homes a year? Like, I'm not even gonna pick up the phone, right?
Well,
like,
because those people are still in production, right? So they're worried about their own pipeline, which
but
rightfully
it's just
so.
and they're not a money maker, so it's of no interest. They're like, what am I going to help you for? Like,
Right.
okay, I'll help you maybe if I have the time, if I feel like even doing it in the first place. I said this to Brett.
I'd like to think there are
Right.
nicer brokers out there, but yes, it's one of those things where it's like for us, it's about saying, wait a second, you have dedicated people that are going to get you to the finish line, and it's not because they're benefiting from you financially because you're not under the team or you're not under their downline. They're saying, we want you to sell if it's to family or friends.
Yeah. Let's even think about, before we wrap up, providing a service
Already? We have
like-
2 donuts left.
like this. Tom Ferry. The
Yes.
Tom Ferry ecosystem.
Yep.
Agents are paying for that out of pocket. That's a massive expense to carry with you when you're a business owner, which
On
is
top
like
of every other expense.
correct.
Right?
That in real estate,
Signs,
everyone's got their
welcomes, all
right,
that crazy
all
stuff.
that.
Yep.
Giving a resource and asset like that to these people just by simply being a part of our brokerage and inside of our ecosystem is worth its weight of joining anyway, on top of the 9 trillion other reasons why.
Right.
But secondly, not
9
only-
trillion.
but not 1 billion actually. There's 1 billion reasons why.
Right.
But
And growing.
that alone, but now the services and the training and the classes that we have going on within where you can literally engage in the classes.
Yeah.
Right? Like some people want to go back to college and can't afford to pay for their own tuition. Now, could you imagine coming onto a brokerage and learning that skill that you can basically make income as hard as you want to
Or
work?
continuous, right?
Right.
You know, an agent that only sells a couple homes a year because that's all they want to do, which is amazing. They're left to the back burner to say, oh, well, what you did 6 months ago when you sold your last home
Right.
has no play to what's happening today. But for our virtual agents and our brokerage side, they have real time training.
Yeah.
So they're not left behind of what was happening is no longer happening. Who's going to help me get there?
Right. 5 days a
So,
week. Training 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
It's wild.
7 days a week access to the people that are going to get you to the closing table.
Right. And getting your offer reviewed, that whole thing, just being able to make sure, hey, is this the strongest offer for me to take, to the table to win this house?
Yeah.
Megan, we absolutely love you. You continue to
Thank
grow this
you.
team and now grow your own team.
I mean,
There's 2 donuts left. I
I'm
think
allowed-
there's only one way to end this podcast, Megan.
Can we cheers?
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm going glazed because I have.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going
It's
to be
closer
sick
to me.
regardless, so it really doesn't matter. Megan,
Todd,
we love you so much.
I love you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys.